had this question. I saw it passing by online.
Yeah.
What are ways to attract women? So this guy asked, what are ways to attract women? Now this other guy, he answered, well, just be confident. Be confident.
Right.
And
Easy.
this specific answer is something that I see a lot. Well, just be confident. Well, just go out there and be confident, right? But to me, even though it's provided with like the best of intentions, it's such a generic, useless answer, right? I mean, it's not like someone just wakes up one day and is able to decide that from that moment on,
right, just be better.
Yeah, I'm just going to be confident. Like this specific day, I'm going to be confident. When on other days, he simply isn't confident at all. So what are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on, being confident?
Well, I think being confident is...
Sorry, just need to say hello to you guys.
We have a guest.
We have a guest. he always does that.
Popped in, you were just spouting good knowledge. I'm a like addict for good knowledge and wisdom.
Good.
I love what you were saying there. The whole be yourself, be confident. Yeah, I find, Rick, I honestly find it one of the most fascinating topics, especially in anything to do with personal development, or especially approaching your fears, and especially the confidence to approach women. Because for me, and how many clients, we're talking tens of thousands now over the last decade, and one of the things, all the guys will say the same, and they've been told, every single one of them have been told, just be confident by somebody else. And what's fascinating is this: being confident is your way of being. You cannot, that as a coach, you can't tell somebody to be something. You can tell them what to do to become something, become. But you cannot do that with some sort of action or action plan or execution of something. You cannot just be unless you already are being. And if it's not your way of being or who you are in that moment. But a lot of guys will just be a confident guy. Well, look at some of those wealthy dudes. That guy we had from Texas that time, no names. But that guy stands on stage in front of 10,000 people and just oozes confidence. Every single environment, every lunch we went for, confidence. Even as a small petite guy, we went to the gym, biggest confidence in the world. I took him up Runyon Canyon because he's not used to doing fitness, and we took him up Runyon Canyon. He came up in his Gucci shoes and his long socks, and he looked absolutely atrocious. But you know what? He was confident. Took him to one bar in a local town. Couldn't approach, and when he did, he just disappeared inside of himself. So people can be confident, like you're confident in martial arts. If I put you into a fucking mathematics forum and you have to fucking go on stage and talk, I'd be shitting myself because I don't even know my turntables. We can be confident in the areas that we have an expertise or experience or exposure to. But to be confident, especially in an area of approaching women, especially when the guys, the average guy, maybe they say approaches twice a year. He has no experience, the average guy. And so if he doesn't go out very often, he's not very socially calibrated, telling him to be confident on his approach. Well, that's like fucking, hey, just jump on the motorbike. I know you can't ride it, but be confident. What the fuck?
Yeah, so you can be the most confident guy in the world in one area of life, but be completely not confident in another. And so the discomfort will leak through.
Yeah, and so that, like the motorbike analogy, you want, well, okay, let's not focus on being confident, but how do we become competent to drive the motorbike? We need some skills. We need to know how to start the engine. We need to know how to kickstart, lift the kick thing up or whatever it's called, and we need to drive off and stay balanced. How do you mirror signal maneuver and turn, and how do you deal with the brake? There's a million things you need to learn, and as you get better at that and have a few accidents, you'll become a little bit more confident. But to be totally confident, you'll need a lot of competencies, which comes back down to skill sets. And a lot of people, especially women and guys who are socially competent and confident, they can't appreciate how a guy who hasn't been exposed to riding the bike, so to speak, or approaching, could not feel confident. It's because they have the experience that has built their confidence, so they have it, but they didn't actually follow a plan. It just happened to them natural discourse. It just happened over their time. Whereas some other guy, that the PayPal guy who was in Sydney, Australia, that guy, one of the top execs in all the other areas, but he spent his life in his career, and a lot more people are introverted, and especially with techie companies becoming more,
lucrative.
Affluent, lucrative. That's the word, lucrative. There are a lot more guys now can be earning good coin and be confident in a lot of their life, but they're not going out. They're not socially adept. More inept. So it's a fascinating subject. But being yourself, be yourself. But if being yourself isn't working, so I was just playing chess. I just listened to you guys, and I'm doing the same. And I'm a bit more confident now, but I'm now in a higher league, and the confidence is dripping because I'm getting annihilated. So I go back to some skills, and the computer's telling me, go and we suggest this lesson. Maybe if we were in an app ourselves, and we approached and we fucked up, the app would be popping. We suggest you check out how to get checkmate. We suggest how to deal with this. But nobody's doing that.
Yeah. So instead of, answering, be confident, well, instead of being confident, become competent.
Yeah. Go out and do the drills and skills necessary to get competencies. And through those competencies, boom, you get confidence. You know that from your martial arts world. What do? You give them some gradings. They get tests. They make a few fuck-ups. They know what they did wrong. They come back. They did it. Wow. You give them a belt. Not a black belt. Exercise
black rope.
Yeah. That's a different fetish competencies. But you give them that, and that slowly grows their confidence. That would be a little like a guy speaking to the one girl on her own. Okay, well, now learn to speak to girls in groups. Oh, that's a different level. That's going from the white belt of, but this guy can actually kick properly. The guy didn't have a clue. He was like me. So you go up the gradings and you learn, okay, now you can open and speak to a group of people. What about speaking to a group of people, the hotter girls, because they've got the guy and they're on a table and they're in a VIP area? What happens if they look confident themselves? What happens if that girl has more DHV, natural, high value, real experiences herself? She has exposure, she has her own money, she has her own business. So you bragging about, that you travel a bit, cool. She does that too, and better. That would take another level of, okay, how do I deal with that scenario? Well, you've got to get exposure to it. And experience doesn't teach you everything. Otherwise, that's like a guy going out to fight and getting his ass kicked 100 times, but not once stepping back and go, okay, I need to learn some skills. So stop getting hit as much,
Yeah. So Tom, in your opinion, in your
let
opinion,
you guys get back to it.
In what areas of life should a man become confident or competent to become attractive for women?
Well, as far as what areas of life, I mean, this kind of like bleeds into a lot of other topics that I was seeing online, but it's hard. It's like we're all at different levels. So, you can even say it's not even what level is this person at? Are they having struggles getting out of the house? Are they having struggles in social situations? Are they, if they're, obviously if they have, if they're doing well in their business or financially, if they're doing well health-wise, if someone's in shape, if someone's taking care of themselves, the best version of themselves that way, they're going to have some confidence already. They're going to, if someone, on the other end, if someone's out of shape, they're going to feel insecure. They're going to feel unconfident. They're going to, whether they, someone's attracted to them or not, that insecurity will blind them, and it's gonna be hard for them to get through that, to get through their own, to get past themselves. But yeah, so little things you can do to build that confidence too is, again, working out, taking care of yourself, trying to eat better, you know, little things like just making your bed every morning. You start building up these little wins, and you start, I think Discover says, like, confidence is, and the way that, how do I say, it's like it's a whole bunch of experiences, positive experiences, positive, and again, little wins. All these little wins add up to your confidence level at the moment, how you feel about yourself right now.
Yeah.
And yeah, if they're just been thrown out into social situations and constantly got blown out, yeah, their confidence is gonna tank. So they can start with little things like just being pleasant, saying hello, being social with other guys and other girls who they're not necessarily attracted to, but just, you know, just get them
Yeah, going for the
talking,
small
motivated.
wins, going for the small wins.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know. I remember that one of the first trainings that I gave, actually, that I organized like years back. I remember I asked a few guys, so what would you like to accomplish tonight? And they had these big goals, you know, like they were like, I'm sorry, man, because it was like one of the first times I really noticed it, you know, like these guys they were kind of lost. I mean, you know,
There's like
the
threesomes, girlfriends,
yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
exactly. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm like, dude, you know, like let's first go and talk to them, you know.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm laughing is because this one guy, he came back and, and he said, "Yeah, Rick, like this is cool and all, but how do I take her home?" I'm like, dude, I didn't even know, like I was baffled, you know, I didn't know what to say, like, and he couldn't even like start a conversation normally, you know, and have that as a win, you know.
Right.
So he was
Yeah.
completely awkward, and he came back, yeah, but how do I take her home? I'm like,
Yeah.
well, the first thing I wanted to say was like, well, you club her in the head. You throw
That's
her over
the only
shoulder.
way. That's the only way he's got right now, because it's not like, yeah, everyone's looking for give me the magic pill, give me this tactic, tell me the magic word to say that brings her home. Like, and that's not how it works. Anything that's worth anything doesn't work like that.
Yeah, I found out the hard way. You found out the hard way. We all do.
Yeah. Whether, you know, if it's love and success, if it's having the body you've ever dreamt, like you can't just say, like, what do I need to eat, or what do I need to buy to have the six pack by tomorrow? That's just not how it works.
But we all want that. But buy my magic course and get a six pack in no time. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's what we all want, but that's not how it works. And you know, of course, I mean, you know, you're familiar with Fool's Mate. Like, things happen, sure, and there's people who everyone thinks are naturals, and it just works for them, you know. But it's not all black and white. There's a lot going on behind the scenes, and yeah, everything that's worth anything, it does take some hard work. But once you have it, you're also, you know, the plus side of that is, once you have it, you're not going to lose it in one day either. Once you've built it, once you have it, once you have that with you, you have it for the rest of your life.
Mm.
You now have that skill set. Yeah. So, you know, yeah, you're not going to have the, you know, you're not going to have the magic pill and get the response you want in one day. But once you do have that skill set, you're also not going to lose it in one day. You're going to have that. So if, in case you do find the love of your life, and you live with that person for 20 years, and that person, and something happens, you guys get divorced or they die, it's not going to be the end of your life. You still have that skill set, and you won't be lost. And so you can still find love at 50, and you can still find love at 70. And yeah, I think that's, you know, I think it's worth putting in the effort and the hard work.